All right, let's talk about something that hits close to home for a lot of Aussie investors. We're often told to diversify, and many of us think we have. But what if I told you that for most of us, that's just an illusion? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this common misunderstanding and see what's really going on inside the typical Australian investment portfolio. So, let me just ask you this straight up. Think about your own investments for a second. Your shares, your super. Are you absolutely confident your money is safely spread out, protected from the wild swings of any one part of the economy? Well, let's put that confidence to the test. Okay, take a look at this. This chart shows the stark reality of the Australian stock market. And wow, it's pretty eye-opening. A gigantic slice of the pie is taken up by just two sectors. Financials, yep, are big banks, and resources, are huge mining companies. Everything else, all the cool tech, the vital healthcare, you name it, it's all just squeezed into those tiny little slivers. This is the pond most of us are swimming in, whether we realize it or not.
To really bring this to life, I want you to meet Alex. Now, Alex is a professional, probably in their early 30s, and started investing a few years back. And I have a feeling Alex's story is going to sound, well, pretty familiar to a lot of you.
So on the surface, Alex has totally done everything by the book. They've got a few individual Aussie shares, a broad ETF that tracks our top 200 companies, a standard super plan, and even a little bit in property. I mean, it looks pretty good, right? It looks varied, it looks sensible, it looks diversified. But is it really? So Alex's setup seems totally solid. But this is exactly where we start to uncover that hidden risk, a risk that doesn't just affect Alex, but could be sitting right inside your portfolio too. And it's all because of how concentrated our home market is. Okay, so you're probably thinking, what's the actual danger here? Alex's portfolio seems safe enough. It's spread across hundreds of different companies through that ETF and the super fund. So where's the hidden trap? Well, here it is. What does Alex's portfolio actually look like? It's pretty much a perfect mirror image of the entire Australian market. Because Alex's ETF and super fund are built to just track the ASX, they automatically inherit that same massive overexposure to banks and mining. It's diversification, but only on the surface. So here's the kicker. Even when you think you have a diversified portfolio, the reality is that the performance of most of your money rises and falls with the fortunes of just two sectors. If financials or resources have a bad run, your entire portfolio takes a hit. That isn't true diversification. That's actually concentrated risk. Okay, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about what we can actually do about it. And the good news is, you don't have to tear everything down and start from scratch. It's all about making a few smart tweaks. So here's a straightforward, actionable checklist to help you build a portfolio that's genuinely more resilient. Here are 4 simple steps to break out of that illusion. First, broaden your ETFs. Instead of one that just tracks the ASX, maybe look at an ETF for the S&P 500. That immediately gives you a slice of the world's biggest tech and healthcare giants. Second, take a look inside your super. Most of us are in a default option, but with just a few clicks, you can often choose an international shares mix, which instantly diversifies you away from Australia. Third, think about adding a defensive layer, things like gold or bonds, which tend to hold their ground or even go up when stocks are down. And finally, maybe use a small part of your portfolio to deliberately invest in those sectors our market is light on, like global tech or healthcare. Really, the whole goal here is to create balance. On one side, you've got your growth assets, things like shares and tech that are going to drive those long-term returns. But on the other side, you need defensive assets, like bonds or gold. Their job isn't to shoot the lights out with growth. Their job is to be a shock absorber, giving your portfolio some stability when those growth assets are having a rough year. So, we've unpacked the problem, and we've laid out a pretty clear path forward. The question really shifts now from just understanding all this to actually doing something about it. It's time to start thinking about how you can apply these lessons to your own financial strategy. And remember, this is not about some radical, stressful overhaul of your finances. Like the source material says, it's really just about making a few smart adjustments. That's all it takes to go from a portfolio that's just passively exposed to risk to one that's actively built for more consistent long-term wealth. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Next time you look at your investments, ask yourself this.
Is your portfolio just riding the big wave of Australia's two dominant sectors, crossing its fingers and hoping the good times last forever? Or is it actually built to withstand a storm? The answer to that question could make all the difference.